seeing as how I'm actually on time over here, I'm just going to go ahead and run... Oh, it's dark in here. Give me 1 second. One more light to go, but I'm almost ready. Sorry, my light over there was off. Anyways, hello everyone. How's it going? Let me switch to live chat. We're on live chat. We're good. Perfect. Okay. This is going to be a gameplay of Dragons of Etchinstone. So, Dragons of Etchinstone from Chip Theory Games. We're going to be diving into this shortly. We'll start soon enough. This, I assume, is not the actual box. These are not going to be the final cards. They're going to do a whole Chip Theory thing where they make everything very cool and plasticky and high premium, and that you can play it in a bathtub and all those things. This is actually a game, honestly, more so than most of their games. This is a game that you could and genuinely consider playing in a bathtub, playing in a pool, or pool. It could be pool too, it doesn't have to be a bathtub, because this is a game you can hold in your hand, and if the cards get wet, who cares? Well, if these cards get wet, I will care. 100% I will care. Anyways, we'll dive into all that soon. As usual, keep in mind, this is the usual weekly live, which means everything goes, questions, conversations, whatever you want. Yes, I will be playing through this, but also we'll be talking about, well, anything that you decide you want to talk about, because that's what I do in the weekly lives. The game is just, the game is the foil. Is that the term? I think I'm using that term correctly. The game is the foil for the conversation. ACS, hyped, I already backed this. Enjoy. I will have a review on this at some point. So I already reviewed the last Dragons of Etchinstone. I think I gave it a 3.5 out of 5, if I recall correctly, the original print and play. I have to go watch that review, because I've already played through this new version of it. I'll give you my thoughts later. Part of why I'm waiting is there's all these cool expansion cards that I don't have rules for yet. So until I have the rules, I can't play the expansion content, which is why you don't have a review for me on this game for this new one. But I will be reviewing the new one and giving any thoughts as to how the experience changes, either from the graphic design, or honestly, I don't even know if this rules changes. I have to go watch my original review and see if I said anything different about how it plays. And then also, of course, covering the expansion content. So there should be a review at some point. I actually got an update that the rules for the expansion content has just been uploaded to the drive that I can check them out. So, but we're not going to do that now, because I got that notification 2 minutes ago, and I'm playing this now. So that's as far as the game goes. We'll talk about the reviews later. This is going to be a gameplay. Although feel free to ask me your thoughts. Ask me my thoughts. I'm always happy to go into that. Brian, good afternoon, Cappers. Hello, Brian. How are you doing? Chaz, hello. Tabletop Foundry, hello. Welcome to live chat, okay? Game for the Stars, just back this. Elaine, hello. Fluffier, hello. Hope is this the new Cats Dogs PMP version? I feel like I'm missing something. This is whatever this is. So whatever these look like, are these cats and dogs? I'm not aware of cats and dogs as far as the print and play version. Nah, don't even talk to me until my card games are freshly dipped in bathwater. That seems fair. Game for the Stars, but will it be better than the cheeses of Tamriel expansion for Elder Scrolls? It'll be shorter. Does that help? Brian, Alex, with the new Inish Kickstarter, if you already have current content, does the content you receive replace or complement the current content? It's not up yet, is it? When does the Inish Kickstarter go live? Because if it's live, let's see. It is coming soon. Good, not yet. I don't know if you have the live date. I don't actually know the live date offhand. I have already played it, and I did the unboxing. But to answer your question, if you already have the current content, does the content you receive replace or complement the current content? So I don't fully know the answer to that, interestingly enough. I have a big box for the game, and there's an expansion box. But will the expansion box, technically, since they did a graphic design adjustment to it, technically, it might not be compatible? I guess, let me think through. The new expansion content does not introduce new Epic Tale cards, and it does not introduce new action cards. Those are the cards where you would need the backs to be consistent. Technically, it only introduces new location cards, or whatever they're called. I can't remember, the advantage cards. And so to that end, those backs you don't need to be consistent. So, but the tiles. So yeah, so I don't actually know the plans, because the expansion stuff that I have has different graphic design. Like, if you have the new tiles, you would know those are the new tiles. So unless they're backwards compatible, unless they're making two different versions, it might be that in order to enjoy the new content, you might have to get the new stuff. Which, if that's the case, I'm sure a lot of people will be reasonably upset, because that's frustrating. But I don't actually know the answer. Tabletop Foundry, they announced the pets expansion this morning. Awesome. Syndeka. Hello, 2 campaigns attempting me right now, the Wrathbusters and 6 Siege. Which one is the best in your opinion? To me, the answer is less of a best. I really like 6 Siege a lot. But Rackbusters is a game that is more the kind of game I table. Six Siege is a longer two-player experience. And for whatever reason, I find that games that are in the 2+ hour range, that are 2 players, I don't table that often. So, like, I like Six Siege, but it doesn't hit the table very often. Rackbusters is likely to table more. But as far as which one is better, they're it's a hard answer. They're both very, very good. They're both very, very good. I think I lean towards Rackbusters. That's more towards my personal taste, but it's very close. Favorite chip theory game? Did I do a ranking of chip theory games yet? I thought I did. Did I not do that video? Board Game Co. We'll start the game in a second because I did tell you we're going to do that. Board Game Co. I thought I did, but I may have filmed it and not gone up yet. Chip theory. Because I do a series where I rank games from publishers. But why can't I type right now? I'm just keep adding periods in between each space. Again, my finger's that big. Chip theory. Okay. Yeah, I ranked all chip theory games. I do. I'm pretty sure I gave Too Many Bones my favorite one. I'm pretty sure. Okay, will you be doing an unboxing of Cyclades Legendary Edition when it comes? I haven't even thought about that. I do pick and choose my unboxing, so I don't know the answer. Six Siege, so glad Steam first picked it up, and you did 2 weeks ago. Thank you, Brian. Okay, with that, we're going to start, but first I have a question for you. Are we playing against Rodving, Grimrock, or Verhast, or Hellsang? Okay, so whichever one of these gets 3 votes first, I'm not even going for most votes. The first one of these that gets 3 votes is the one we're going to be playing against. Hellsang, Verhast, Grimrock, and Rodving. Okay, those are the 4 dragons you can play against. Let me know. We got 1 vote for Hellsang, 1 vote for Verhast. So Rodving, Hellsang, Verhast, Grimrock, Hellsang. Boom, Hellsang it is. Hellsang is the one we are playing against. Oh boy, I don't think I've played against Hellsang. I don't think so. I've done Rodving for sure. I've done Grimrock. I'm not sure if I've played against Hellsang. Either way, we're playing against Hellsang now. So, if you don't know what's going on, I am going to walk you through this as we go. Basically, we're going to be fighting against this dragon. That's our final boss. You don't have to worry about that right now, though, because we don't even have to talk about the rules for that. Right now, you need to know that there's an adventure. Now, I'm going to walk you through the first encounters as we do this, but I'm going to show you everything. Let's put this dragon over here. We're going to put an other encounter card behind this. By the way, if you want an excellent how-to-play video with the soothing dulcet tones of Andrew Santaro from Chip Theory Games, their how-to-play video is phenomenal. But if you want to just watch and learn as we go, I'm going to do that too here. I have less floating hands showing you all the stuff. But we have the Jade Mountains. That's going to be our Region 1. We are going to go through 4 journeys effectively. We're going to shuffle up all our cards. They start on 2. I should also note, general disclaimer, I might get a thing wrong, and that could happen for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is I know how to play, and in the moment, because I'm engaging with chat and playing a game, I missed a rule. In which case, I'm sorry. Let me know, and I'll try to correct it if it's still time. Reason number 2 is I could just be wrong. There's 1 or 2 small things about this game that I'm pretty sure I'm playing correctly, but like maybe not exactly, and we can get into them when we do, but I might get things wrong, and in which case, I am sorry, but let me know. I think I'm playing it right. I'm pretty sure I am, but just, usual notes. So we're going to shuffle our hand over here. We're starting on all level 2 cards. I would show you them all, but I am not technically supposed to see my level 2 cards. I'm going to put the region card on top over here, and these other cards behind the deck, okay? So we're going to go ahead and give myself 1, 2, 3, 4 cards as my starting hand. Now, technically, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to see that next card, and usually I try to avoid it, but like, if I see something, I see something. Then this next card is going to slide down. I guess technically you'd know if you could see, because I see the name of the cards, the names are unique, I'd see that. Now, over here right now, we have my hand, okay? So we have my hand of cards, which you only really need to see the left-hand side. There is a point where the order matters, but that's more for expansions. We don't need to worry about that heavily right now. Right now we have Adapt. This is our next card, but the only thing that matters in this next card is that we are facing off against the level 3 enemy. So effectively, each card on the regions you have, and there's 4 regions because you're going to go through 4 rounds before you fight the big bad, there are 4 enemies and 4 locations, 4 journeys. This symbol means enemy. That means number 3. 1, 2, 3. That is the 3rd enemy we're fighting against, and this has a whole bunch of stats on it in very small text. I'm sorry it's just this small, but it is what it is. My camera's zoomed in as much as it can go. We have 9 health, 6 initiative, 2 attack, and 2 defense. That defense is relevant if I'm facing off against it with a blue card. And then we have the 5 experience we're going to gain if we win. To that end, whether you're fighting an enemy or a journey, you have to go ahead and select 3 cards from your hand, with your last card being your reserve, although there are things you can do. So for example, you can choose to decline to engage with an encounter. I can't remember the term for it, but effectively you give up a card, which is going to move you through your deck faster, which is not great, but you do get to avoid a certain encounter if you don't want to deal with that. we're not going to do that right now because I think I can take this guy on, or at least as much as possible. To that end, we have, okay, we got that, that, and that. Beautiful. I already have this locked in, so here's what we're going to do. We have to assign 3 cards. We have our main attack card, which is going to be this one, and I'll kind of walk you through things as we go. We have our main attack card. We have our element and initiative card. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, we'll take damage. It's fine. We'll take, I don't want to take damage. I don't want to take damage, but I don't see a way around this unless let me think. If this is our initiative card, this is where you can't get everything that you want. This person is a 9 health. There's no way to take it out and have the initiative I want. So fine, we're going to take the damage. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. So we are going to attack with, oh no, can I do that? No, curses, a million times curses. Okay, we have our attack over here. We have our 5. Do we have any other attack we can use? We have our 5 over here. This can power up that one. Okay, this can power up that. And then we have a +3 from this. That's still a blue card. I don't see a way to do this. Okay, so here's what we're trying to do, just so you know. So we have our main card. For example, let's say our main card was this one. Okay, this would be our main card. And we could get either a 3 movement, or we can get a 5 attack if we boost it with a purple card. This card is also our initiative. So over here, that's my 3 initiative over here, which is not great because that means I'm going to be going slower than this guy, which is not great. The real tricky part is his defense is blue. I wish his defense was any other color because that's the thing that's getting me in trouble right now. Because this main attack card, and this is one of the things where I'm not totally sure I'm right, I think the defense goes based off of the main attack card and not based off of the no, I think it's based off the element. It's based off of the element card. If someone in chat knows this, feel free to correct me. I think the defense only triggers if I'm fighting with that element, and I'm not fighting with that element. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's correct. And then we're going to add our boost card. So we have our main attack card, we have our initiative card, and we have our boost. The main attack is providing 5 attack because the element supporting it is purple, which is what that needs. Otherwise, it would be 3 movement, which would be useless against an enemy. Well, some enemies. Then we have our 3 initiative, which means we're going slower than this guy, which means we're going to take our attack damage once. You take attack damage in 2 different ways. If you are slower than them, and if you don't fully kill them. And then we're going to have our boost card. Oh no, I need the boost. We need to reverse this. This needs to be our boost card, which means this. So we're shifting this around. This is going to be our attack. 6 attack. Our element is yellow. Our initiative is 5. And our boost is 3. That's coming from this one over here. Okay? And to that end, we've now done 6 plus 3, which is 9, which is enough to take him out. Unfortunately, because his initiative is higher, he's going to deal 2 damage to us. But we are going to get 5 experience for killing him. Okay? So that's where we are. This is going to be our reserve card. We're going to ignore this. We're going to keep this in our hand. And now we have to resolve that. So we're going to resolve, first of all, damage. Damage is soaked up by the shields in the bottom of your card, which means we need to rotate any one card in our hand down to, we need to absorb that 2 damage. So I'll go ahead and take Brute Force. I don't have a particular reason for doing this. I'm going to rotate Brute Force downwards to a level 1 and soak up that 2 damage. Then we can spend our 5. It's only 5? That's so annoying. We're going to spend our 5 to bump up our other cards, and because we can't boost back up the one we just demoted, so we can't do 4 and 1, because you can't power up one you just demoted, so we're going to go ahead and shift this one up to a 3. So this is going to shift up to a 3, like so. Nat, thank you for your kind words about the seamless camera changes. I love it. It makes my life so easy. Well, my life's not easy. Relatively easy. Anyways, that's as far as that goes. So there we go. That's an encounter. We've leveled up one card, we've demoted another, and we've successfully taken out this enemy, and we didn't get the full 5 experience. This card, our reserve card, is going to stay in our hand, and these cards are going to go off to the side. Now, I have found that it's very easy for me to tuck these behind my hand like so, maybe I'll do that. That just keeps me, I mean, if you want to play this as a palm game, you effectively could treat it as a palm game. Okay, that is going to be encounter 1. Now we're going to go ahead and do encounter 2, and then we'll pay attention to chat. So now we're going to load up our hand. So we're going to go up to 1, 2, 3, and look at that, we are now facing off. We now have a hand of 4 cards, and now we're doing a location place instead. That's the location 1, which means we're going to need 12 footprints. Now, we haven't talked about a lot of different things, including how you lose time or what happens when you don't fully kill someone, because there are ways when you don't fully kill someone. But with that said, looking at this right now, there's no way I'm going to be able to add up to 12. And that's just simple math, because I can see none of these go up high enough that when combined with a boost, this is a 5 attack or movement, but if I pair that up with a 3, that's still only 8. So there's nothing I can do. Well, maybe. And again, this is where the element, if there was a yellow element, then there's a way to also benefit from another card's boost. Your reserve card's boost can also boost it. But that, I think it's the reserve. It might be your, and I think it's the reserve one, but I have to double check that. But either way, Right now it doesn't matter. There's no combination that's going to add up to 12. So this is where we're trying to hit at least 6. If we can hit at least 6, we'll still get the 5 experience, but we will lose 2 days, 2 degrees of time. So let's see if we can get to 6. That should be easy enough to do. We have a 5 over here. We pair this up with this card. That's already boosted over here. So if this becomes our initiative, initiative doesn't matter for destinations. So this can be our element card that boosts that into movement, which means we're going to want to hold on to this because it's at least flexible for next round. And then we're going to... then we're going to go ahead and boost it by this. So effectively we have our 5 movement with a boost of 2 is 7, which is enough to get at least halfway there. Cue all the singing. Ooh, we're halfway there, but we still lose 2 days because you're halfway there. So we're going to lose 2 days, which we're going to take 2 cards off the top and shift them to the back over here. Those are cards, we've just lost those cards. We didn't lose them, we just, our time is gone. But we do get to go ahead and, so we didn't lose damage, we lost days, but we do get to go ahead and to get that 5 experience to power up our cards. Unfortunately, once again, we have the worst luck as far as our distribution. These are all 3s, which is silly, but I will go ahead and boost this one because at least this is in my hand for next round. These will shift away, I'll load up my hand, and then we'll pay attention to chat. Okay, we've got 3 more cards, and we're going to be facing off against landscape. Number 3 is next. Sometimes there can be various things that affect that as well. You'll see them happen. All right, chat. Let's see. Helsang, Cyclades Legend Edition, first game. Okay. Brian, Asaf, at some point I started to back more games to standees. Minis are minis. Asaf, I would still play Unconscious Mind with meeples because they look so much cuter, but I'm a mini person and a painter, so it's definitely not the norm. Actually, there are times where I do prefer meeples. Unconscious Mind is the kind of game that I agree with you. Matt, I was interested in thus, but the campaign page did not sell me on this game at all. Maybe seeing it played will. Maybe. It's very much a number crunchy game. And I do find that with number crunchy games, sometimes the main person enjoying that is not the person watching it, but the person doing the puzzle in their head. So there's a degree of puzzle solving that's going on here. You just get to see me go 6 plus 4 plus 3. If I move this here, it's 2. Okay, 6, 7, 4, 3. Okay, great. That's higher than that. I take 2 damage. Okay, good. That's an enjoyable little puzzle. I don't know if I want to watch someone do that, but it's different when you're playing it. Been a while since I played, but pretty sure it's Element. Yeah, I agree, although, yeah, there's a few small areas where I don't remember which card it's referencing in the color. The general arc of the game, I know very well, but there's always those times I have to look at the rules and keep forgetting to. For real, the camera changes are impressive. Thank you. I have a little foot pedal beneath my table, which makes editing videos so much easier. I could not do the things I do if I didn't have this foot pedal. Asaf, not Apple. Are you the Apple from Frostpunk? Yes, he is. Okay. Hello, Joey. Hey, Joey, how's it going? Okay, let's go ahead and continue with this. We are on to landscape number 3, so we need to get 11 feet, okay? So 11 feet. We have a 9 foot over here. That's awesome. We have a 7 foot over here, so I'm thinking we're pretty good on the 11 feet. We don't have the red element, so we could ignore that, but we do have the 9 foot, which should make this a breeze. So to that end, we're going to get 4 upgrade points, which is nice. We can power up this one with this one, and then have this one over here. I think that works overall. So we have our 9 powered up by a yellow card, becomes 9 feet, 9 feet, 9 journey. We're going to call it journey. Okay, I don't need to say feet that many times on stream. So we're going to have 9 journey. We're going to add it with the 2 boost from this card, and that gives us everything we need. We then have 4 experience points. We're not losing anything. We're totally fine. We don't lose any dates. The 11, we don't need that boost. We are totally golden. We're then going to upgrade this card. I always like to try to upgrade my reserve card whenever possible. It's going to go to the 3 side, because honestly, then you just have it in the next hand, which is helpful, because you have an upgraded card in your next hand. We're going to go ahead and stock our hand again. And you're going to keep doing this, by the way, until we get to the dragon, at which point we're going to be done for the round. And because we wasted 2 days, I'm guessing, I haven't counted it, but I'm guessing this is our last encounter for the round. Okay. Feet. I want to buy feet pictures. Why am I doing this? I don't know. I'm just responding to Nat. Okay. We now have 2 enemy. So we have our 2 enemy over here. We do have an 8 fire, which we can power up, which is awesome. Our 2 enemy requires 11. So we are actually golden. No. Curses. You see, this is the kind of garbage I'm talking about. You see, I could do this over here, powering up that, which would be 11, plus 3, sorry, that would be 8, plus 3, which is 11. That would be amazing. We are good to go on 11. You know what the problem is? He has 1 defense against the stupid red element. This red element card is going to hurt us. So we're down to only 10. And 10's not enough to kill him. And we don't have a 4, which means we can't kill this stupid enemy. Okay, we can't. But we are at least higher initiative, so we're only going to take the damage once. So it's fine. we are only going to take the damage once. By the way, I believe, I could be wrong, this is one of the small rules that I think that the highlighted shield means this is worth 4 against yellow damage. But that's immaterial to us right now. But anyways, let's go ahead and do this. So we have, there's no configuration where I can kill him. So we're going to do the same trick. We have a 7 over here. Oh, a 7. If we have a 7, I do want to upgrade a card in my hand. So that's going to be this one we'll save for next round, I guess. I don't know if I care. Okay, cool. So either way, we're going to go ahead and we'll take this card out. This is 9 Journey. We'll keep that. That's nice and strong. It might not matter right now anyway. We're powering up, so red element powers up to 8, plus 3 is 11, reduced by 1 is 10. We have higher initiative, so we don't take initiative damage at once, but we will take the 2 damage at the end of the round. So we're going to go ahead and soak that up with this card and demote this card. But then we are going to go ahead and assign a 4 and a 3, a 7. So we're going to assign a 4 and a 3, and we're going to pop this up to a 3 and this up to a 3. And then this card is going to be left in our hand. But again, I don't think that actually matters because I think we're going to be drawing to the dragon in a second. Yep, there we go. You see, we draw, we see the dragon. And now what we do is we take all of our cards, we put them into our stack, making sure to maintain the orientation. We flip this to region 2. We'll swap that to region 3 soon. And then we shuffle up our hand and we're good to go. All right, we're back to chat. If you said feet any more times, the algorithm was about to get weird. I agree. Smooth. Hello, everyone. Glad to see this game in action. I love chip theory and I'm very intrigued by this campaign. Nat, I'm totally going to clip that out of context. Please do. I could use more drama as opposed to just, tariffs. Tariffs are so frustrating. This would be fun drama. Brian, Nat, your algorithm is already weird. Don't blame it on Alex and his feet things. Not that he shows socks on streams or anything. I show socks on streams. That is a regular occurrence. Socks is not where it gets weird. Feet is where it gets weird. Socks is a totally appropriate line, in my opinion. It's unfortunate the device did not respond and try to order you some pictures. I didn't say the device's name. Do you need to go all in for 6 Siege? Do you think the core box is enough? Yeah, take the core box. Core box is enough. It does depend on the person. If you're the kind of person who gets a game and plays it fully 100% in depth, by all means. To me, 6 Siege is the kind of game that I definitely don't need the all-in. There are some games, and I've done 2 full videos on times I benefited from the all-in, times I didn't. You can benefit from the all-in in 6 Siege because you'll have a variety of contents. That part's nice. But if you're trying to be money conscious, you certainly do not need it all. I can't imagine anyone ever using all of it. All right, we're going to go ahead and tuck this behind our card. We're going to, without looking, without paying attention, I should say, because we can peripherally glance out of the corner of our eye. But again, it shouldn't matter. And then we're going to go to our next card. So we have our cards. Let's make sure they're lined up on stream. We have no 3s. We have no 3s and we're fighting level 2. Oh my gosh. That is going to be a problem. Okay, we are trying to fight against the 4th landscape, which is going to be 9. Oh, this is easy. We got this guy over here. Okay, cool. So we're going to power this up. We got lucky. So we have our purple card, but we have 9 feet because it's powered up by the 9 Journey because it's powered up by the yellow card. We only need 9. We're fighting landscape 4 over here. This has a little thingy. We have to look at the thingy. The thingy says that it's steep. Increase the journey's movement points by your reserve card's boost. Okay, that is a solvable problem. The way we solve that is we just have to make sure that we choose the boost of the one that is higher and keep that in play. So right now, effectively we have this as our reserve card, and so right now this boost is being added, so it becomes 11, but we are still boosting this to 9 plus 3, which is 12. We are still golden. So you gotta pay attention to those little thingies. Did I miss any of those thingies the first time around? No, we didn't have any. And region 2 is where you start getting all these little abilities on the characters, which are not helpful. They make your life harder. All right. That's done. So we've done this. We now have 9 experience points. 9 experience points. And once again, the game is like, hey, you can't evenly divide them into they're just wasted. They're wasted. We're going to bump up our 2 4s over here. I don't think I called this out. That little number in the corner is the experience point cost. So we're bumping these 2 up. We have to keep this in our hand. This is our reserve card. And these 3 can go behind our hand. And again, by the way, I have legitimately played this, holding this entire thing in my hand. It's just easier on the table for you to see it all. But it's fairly easy to manage this all, literally just holding things on. We got 1, 2, 3. And we're going to then pay attention to chat. Okay, we have enemy number 2, so we're fighting against a 10 health. Yellow element is the worst, and we have good. We have the red. We're getting actually pretty decent. We haven't done everything work in our favor, but sometimes you just don't have what you need. Right now, we're powering this up over here with a 10, okay? So it's a red element. It avoids his yellow, which would be annoying. He has no special abilities. We are already dealing 10 damage. We don't even care about the rest over here, but we will keep, we're going to gain 4 experience. Are you freaking kidding me? None of the cards in my hand can be upgraded with 4 experience. This is such... I just said everything's working in my favor. It's not. We have 5, 5, 5, and 6. Nothing can be upgraded here. This is the worst. You defeated the enemy, and he dropped an axe that you already had. This is useless. This is silly. This is stupid. We're going to hold on to this into our next hand. We're going to pass these on. We won, and we got nothing. That is, I don't think that's ever happened to me for the record, and it's frustrating. I don't like it one bit. But we're going to go to our next journey now, okay, because I can only be frustrated for so long. We have to keep playing because we got things to do. We got things to do. We're facing off against a 3 landscape. Now, sometimes the abilities are going to come from these cards, and that one is Storm. When you suffer time penalties, suffer equal damage. So let's try to avoid suffering time penalties. We do have the 11 over here. So we're going to, this looks like another easy one because we again have a yellow card powered up by a yellow card. So we already have our 11, which means we're already at the 11 we need, and we don't have special abilities on this. So we are good to go as far as that goes. We don't even need to reference the extra element ability. We're totally fine, which means we just have to decide which of these we want in our next hand. And given the fact this next card is a purple, we don't have any extra information. I will keep, these are basically the same card. I'm going to hold on to the red one because why not? But that means I'm going to power up with our 9 over here. We can power up a 6 and a 3. Let's do that. Let's do a 6 and a 3. Okay. But then if we're doing that, well, I'll power up this 3. I'll have this 3 because this is my hand. So we're going to power up this 3 and this 6. Okay. There we go. These will go to the back of my hand. We'll hold on to the 3. Shouldn't you have taken damage? You didn't beat initiative. Oh, no. I hate you. I forgot about that. I mean, I appreciate you. That was me knowing the rule and forgetting. You see, there's 2 kinds of mistakes you make when you play. That was me knowing the rule and forgetting. So let's pull this back over here. I'm going to take the 2 damage on something over here. So we'll just we'll demote this one. This is from 2 rounds ago, but I'm just doing the best I can to make up for it. Good catch, Harmonize. Good catch. Okay. Then we're going to continue this over here, drawing 3 more cards. So everything's all good as far as balance, although I would rather, the thing is I didn't even have an opportunity. The tricky part is I probably could have reconfigured. I shouldn't say probably. There's a chance I could have reconfigured and beaten initiative, especially considering I wasn't even getting anything from that fight. But I didn't plan that out, so I'm just going to take the wounds as someone who didn't think about how fast my enemy is. Oh, please, Harmonize. Keep calling that garbage out. That keeps me on my toes. Keeps me on my toes. We are doing the 3 landscape over here. So we're facing off against the 11 again. Same exact landscape. No ability in time this time. We do have 9 over here for our feet. Over here, journey. Stop calling it feet, Alex. We have 9 for our journey. We're going to power that up with our blue card. And then we already have 9, so we're good. We should be fine. We have to add the 4 because the 2... No, we can add the 2. We can add the 2. That's totally fine. Let's add the 2. Let's add the 2, because that way we can keep this in my hand. So we're doing 9 plus 2 is 11. We don't have to worry about initiative on journeys. We are good to go. And then we're going to use that 9 experience to upgrade the 5 and the remaining 4 in my hand. That gives us a 4 for next round. And this 5 is now upgraded as well. So honestly, I'm feeling pretty good. Past a little bit of cheating over there, I'm feeling pretty good. We're going to go ahead and add more cards to our hand. Let's see if we can get one more encounter this time. I'm not sure. Again, I don't card count, so I don't know. No, this is the worst. I hate when that happens. So we have a full hand over here, but you need to have a journey card, so this is now gone. I want that extra fight so we can level things up. All right, we are done with this card over here. If you were, again, you can keep it in your hand, but I don't feel the need to. So we're going to go ahead and take region 3, put it on top, and then shuffle and pay attention to chat. Alex, will we have time for War of the Ring doing UKGE? God, I hope not. Sorry if I sounded bad. I hope not. UKG, this is going to be my first time at UKGE. I'm not saying I won't play War of the Ring. I am saying that when I'm at conventions having fun, I like playing short games and having fun. I don't like sitting down for long experiences, and it might be different if it's at a convention that I go to on a regular basis, but UKG is new for me. This is going to be like an exciting new thing. Do I want to spend 4 hours playing War of the Ring? Not particularly. Am I open to it? Yes, but not excited about it. It's just that it has to be the right circumstance where I don't feel the FOMO of everything else I'm not doing. Game for the stars, tariffs. I have 37 games back currently. I'm literally terrified. Yep. The good news is they keep, like at this point, have you seen the news? It's 145% now. It keeps jumping up every 2 seconds. The good news is it means that it is going to change. What it goes down to, I don't know. But everyone's just playing I can't say what's happening because those are words that are not allowed. But there's a measuring contest going on right now, and everyone else is losing. Let's see. Okay. War of the Ring, tell me playing with the train. It's a must-have. Okay. Shouldn't you've taken damage. Thank you. Did you pledge for Apex Legends? I saw, Asaf, that you covered Apex Legends. Okay. I'm not a big fan on games based on live service games. Interesting. Okay. we're going to region 3. So region 3, same exact drill as we've done before. We're going to draw our hand. I guess you could have just done it this way. Each time I drew a hand, I could have just done it this way. We have the Hellsang. Oh, the Hellsang could be at the back. See, I mixed it up. Hellsang should be at the very back of the deck. The region should be at the front. And now we're about to tackle region 3, where we are facing off deadlier enemies. We now have 14 health, as well as the fishy symbol over there. It's not actually a fish symbol, it's an arrow. But it means this is a slow enemy, so you could use Journey against him. Okay, so Journey can be used as well as Fight. And that's relevant because often you have higher Journey cards. Not today, though. Not today. That would be too easy. Okay, so we have 10 health over here. Let's see, 10 damage. 10 damage. Do we have a boost of 4? We do. Okay, we're still good. We're still good. I don't know if we can beat... Let's see. We have a boost of 4. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay, so this actually worked out nicely. So we have our 10 damage boosted by the blue element with initiative 4. So that means we can't get called out again for skipping on initiative damage. And then we're going to boost it with a 4 over here from this boost. And that's going to make it 14, which is enough to kill it. And I don't take... Oh, no, freak again! I can't kill it. Because it's the blue freaking element. It's the blue element. So blue element means I'm doing 3 less damage, which means I don't see a way around this over here because the highest I can get otherwise is 7, so it doesn't matter. So I am going to take 3 damage reciprocally over here, which means I'll go ahead and demote a card because that's what we're doing today. I do get 8 experience, which is nice, although it's only going to get me so far. I think I have to demote one of these cards, otherwise I'm wasting the experience. So I will demote this guy over here to a 3. And then I will boost all of the rest over here. So this is going to become a 2, this is going to become a 4, and this is going to become a 2. And this one is still in my hand. And that 3, who sucked up the damage, is going to go to the back of my deck. Okay, you know, we're doing fine. Then we're going to go ahead and have more cards. More cards get added over here. So we add our new cards, and we are this time fighting against... We are fighting against the second terrain. So we're going on a journey, and we have only one card that gives us journey. So we have limited options. We are doing the 12 over here. The 12 is the... And again, so this is where Harmonize, let me know if you know offhand. This yellow over here, does that get boosted if the element was yellow? Or meaning if the element card is yellow? One second, I'm doing this wrong anyway. Oh no, I'm doing this wrong. We need a red card to boost this. This doesn't matter. Ignore what I said. Ignore what I said. I don't think we can do this one. We might divert. We might divert for the first time ever. Because, for the first time, not ever, but like this game. Because I don't see a way. I could get to halfway. No, I can't get to halfway. I'm lying. I could get to halfway. So I could lose 3 cards, or I could divert. The tricky part is if I get another... Here's the problem. Here's the risk factor, okay? If I get another journey card, I'm just going to have to divert again. So is it better to take the one-time hit and call it? And I can still upgrade 2 of my cards? I think I'm going to do the one-time hit. Okay, so we're going to do 4 over here. So we're just going to take a regular 4. First time you see me do this. And then I'm going to boost that with a 3. So we have a regular element card, which won't matter in this case. We're using our 4, we're adding 3. That brings us to at least 7, so that's more than half. We are going to then upgrade 6, but lose 3 times. I hate losing 3 times. You get the journey bonus if your enhanced action is the same color as the journey. Yeah, but and again, I think in this case it won't matter because this would be the inaction. So yeah, thank you, Joe. Oh, Joe. Well, Joe, you would know. Joe, the designer of this game, is in chat, so I would take it as if it's probably right. So Joe, you're saying right now, if this is my extra card, if this is my current board, and I'm using the element, the action card, and the boost, the middle card is the one that has to match the journey, right, Joe? Again, it won't matter in this case. I'm doing 4 plus 3 is 7, which is enough to get halfway. I will lose 3 times, but I will gain 6. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my reserve card, so I have it for next round, and I'll upgrade this blue card because I like blue. And then I'm going to lose 1, 2, and 3 to the back over here. Okay. Then I'm going to take these 3, add them to the back. Thank you, Joe. And then going to go ahead and add new cards to our hand. 1, 2, 3. Don't you dare be by the dragon yet. Don't you dare be by the dragon. Okay, so we have a very purple hand, and we're going on the landscape over here. We're doing landscape number 3. No special abilities on that, but we are going to have the special ability on this, which is treacherous, which means if we don't get complete victory, we take a damage. Can we get complete victory? Not looking great. We got the 9 here. Okay, fine. So here's what we got. So we have the 9 feet over here, journey, 9 journey. We're going to power that up to make it. So we use the element card for our 9 journey. And then... and Joe, where does the extra boost come from? Does it come from the reserve card or from your initiative element card? That part I couldn't remember either. It wasn't relevant yet. But over here we have our 9 journey. and we're going to boost that to get to, all we need to get to is the 10 right now, so I just need to think which card I want in my hand for next turn, and a 4 is pretty strong, so we're going to keep that, and we're going to have this. So we have 9 plus 2 is 11, comes from the reserve card, thank you. So we are currently at 11, no need to match anything, we are good to go, and that means we're going to get our 5 experience, which we will then use to, get our 5 experience from this card, which we're going to use to bump up this. So we have another card, going to shift to the back. Okay. And then we are going to get the next cards. And I think this is the end of the round. We'll see. We'll see if we have enough cards for a full thing. Nope, there we go. We meet Hellsang, and now we are done with round 3, and we're moving on to round 4. This is going to cycle around, and we're going to shuffle our deck while going back to chat. Helldivers does have a bit of interest, though. I saw Alex had on the table. Yeah, it's right next to me. Helldivers is right next to me over here. I was hoping to have the review done today, but I think I need a bit more time with it, so the review's hopefully going up Saturday. I got it very last minute, so like if I want to give a first impressions based on one play, I'd have it today. But I want to get a bit more time with it. Anyways, sometimes you can just slap another brand over an existing product for fast turnaround. Doki Doki Panic, anyone? I don't know. Oh, Castle Panic, I guess, I assume. Joe, got it. ACS. I've never been into live service video games because they usually require some form of intense commitment and you don't play any other games and only that one game you're committed to. Yeah, but I think Brian was saying he doesn't even like games based on live service games, which is another level. Calculated. I liked your video about Onward and got very interested and backed it. Would love to see a gameplay from you. There's almost none out there. Onward is so good. Onward is delightful. I don't think a gameplay is coming. Here's the problem with gameplays, okay? So this little fun fact about gameplays on the channel. There's 2 ways to do a game. Well, no, that's not how I'm saying that. When it comes to gameplays, there's 2 times, not 2 ways, 2 times I do gameplays. The first is when, I guess three times, let's call it 3 times. The first is when I know the game very, very well, that I don't have to check up rules. I might get something wrong, but I know it well enough that I'm not worried. I don't have to check up rules. I've played it enough. Zombicide, Cthulhu Death May Die, any games like that where I just enjoy the game. I know it, Castle Burgundy, I'm like, hey, let's play it on camera. Why not? I know the game and I don't have to check things up. That's way 1. Way 2 is when it's sponsored. Because when it's sponsored, I spend enough time looking at the rules that I don't have to check the rules mid-game. Because the main thing I'm trying to avoid is I don't want to check rules mid-game. I want to be playing the game. I'm not here to reference a rule book and or edit the videos to the point that it's a real pain. So when a video is sponsored, we spend enough time with the rule book to know it. Way 3 is this, okay? Where you have a game where I don't know it super, super well, like, again, Cthulhu Death May Die or whatever. It's also not being sponsored, but this is an easy one. This is just an easy one, so why not? Those are the times you get gameplays. Onward, unfortunately, is at a point where I still need to reference the rules while I play it. And so if it's not sponsored content, it's now a lot more work. So as much as I understand wanting it, and it is a good game, I'd say there's probably going to be Onward gameplays in the future, but probably with the final game, not with the prototype. Okay, we got our hand. Let's actually pay attention to chat. Joe, got it. Brian, Asaf, got it. Okay. Yeah. Game for the Stars really has an elegant simplicity to the gameplay which I respect. Will be a really great plain travel game, very solid design. Yeah, it's really, well, we'll cover more. I'm going to do a review later as we talked about it. Doki Doki Panic is Super Mario 2. I don't know anything, apparently. Asaf, that's great news. Reprint the original SC. I would assume I would kill for reprint. I assume that the Arkane Studios StarCraft game is new. I don't know. I assume it's new. Okay, we are on to Region 4, people. This is it. The final. Did we do Region 4? What did I just fight? I just fought Region 3, right? I've lost track of things. I'm pretty sure I fought Region 3, but, honestly, I can go back in a second and just see. Let's go back a few minutes. Region 3. Yeah, I just went back on chat. That works. Okay, cool. So, we are now into Region 3. We're going to put Hellsang at the end, and we're going to go ahead and continue this. Well, we're going to take our 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, how are we doing in time? 1:42. This is actually pretty good. This is a good hour-long experience combined with chat and everything else. Alright, we are fighting against the third enemy. The third enemy has this ability, which is Freeze. If you suffer early damage, discard your reserve card, and you got a freaking 8 over here? I don't like you one bit. And you have 14 health? Are you kidding me? Okay, let's see what we can do over here. 14 freaking health. That is obnoxious. And it got 2 different shields? Are you freaking... Okay, well, what's the highest we can go? The highest we can go right now is 8 plus 5. That's if everything worked out, we could do 8 plus 5, which is only 13, which means no matter what happens, we're not getting to 14. I like to do that because the quick math just eliminates that as an option. We can just ignore that. So now we know we're not getting to 14. We have 2 options. We divert, Or we sit there and say, how can we avoid taking the early damage so we only get damage once, and that's worth it because 4 damage versus 8 upwards is worth it. So we're going to do that. We're going to try that. But that means in order to avoid the early damage, we need to get 2 and 8. So we could boost. You haven't seen me do it, by the way, but you could boost your initiative or you could boost your damage. Those are either the options you're fine with. So in this case, we have a 9 over here. Can we do at least 7 damage? So if we boost a purple, I think we could get 7 damage. So here's what we do. We have our purple initiative card. We have our 5 damage or journey. So that's already bringing us to 5. We boost that with a 2. That brings us to 7. And that means that we are now at 7. So we're at the halfway point. We are higher initiative. We don't take the early damage. We are good to go as far as that goes. Oh, wait, no. No! Mother, oh no, we're fine. No, we're not fine. Because the element card, oh, the element card's purple. We're fine. Okay, because his shield is against those 2 elements. Our element card is purple, so we should be fine on as far as this goes. Which means it's our reserve card. We don't discard our reserve card. We are going to take 4 damage, but we can suck that up with this shield, much as I hate to do so, and then we can use the 8 to boost other things. So we're going to do that. We're going to go ahead and lower this down to 3. We're going to bump our reserve card to a 3 over here, because that seems like it makes sense. And we're going to bump this 2 to a 3 as well. Okay, there we go. These cards go to the back. And now we go to the next one. Okay, we go 1, 2, and 3, and we're now facing off against Journey number 2, and it's going to have the Storm again. So you suffer time penalties, you suffer equal damage. That's from that. So Journey 2 is over here, no other abilities. We need 13 Journey. Can we get to 13 Journey? Probably, because we have this 11 boosted over here. So we don't have to suffer time damage. We should be fine. We have our 11 boosted yellow over there. That's 11 Journey. We can then add either of these. I think I'm going to add the 2, because why not? We'll keep this 4 for later, because brute force seems pretty powerful. So we now are at 13, and we are good to go. No concerns there. We then get 6 over here that we can spend, which, oh, I don't want to do this. I think I'm going to boost this over here, because we need those 4s for the final battle. So I'm going to go ahead and boost this 4 to a 6 over here, and that's going to go into our final battle, end of game reserve over here. Then we're going to continue. 1, 2, 3. Keep in mind, this is the last journey. Then we go to the boss fight over here. And I actually have one question. We'll see if Joe's still watching. I'll have a question about the boss fight that I'm actually not certain about. But either way. All right, let's go through here. Well, I guess I could ask the question. Joe, I'll ask it now so we're ahead of the game. When you're dividing up your hands for the boss fights, I assume the reserve card can be used to, double up to make any element wild, right? Also, I'm realizing now, I haven't been taking that into account the entire time we played. There's a thing you can do, guys, where you take 2 cards of the same color. Like right now, if I wanted to boost this red, and this red wasn't in my hand, what I could do is I could take these 2 cards and say, well, they're both blue, so I'm going to combine them. Because of the same color, I'm going to combine them, pick a top card, and say this is now purple. And then I can boost, or say this is red, which can now boost this. So that's something you could do that I have not been doing at all. But either way, we are currently on another, are you freaking, why? Okay, we have 5 feet over here. That's what we got. We got 5 journey. We got nothing journey-wise in our hand. So we could divert and hope for an enemy. But again, the problem with diverting is that if there's no enemy, then we're in trouble. So do I divert, or do I try to do 5 plus 4, which is going to be 9, which will at least bring us... So Joe, this is where we're back to the question part, okay? This is always the part I get a little confused on. So right now, we have the 5 footprints. No. Yeah. So right now, in this hypothetical, if this were the hypothetical hand, does this card indicate that one? And then we can pull from our reserve thingy, because then I think I could do it. No, I don't think I can anyway. It won't matter. It won't matter. I can't do it anyway. Okay, I might, but we can still get to 7. So we can do 7 and lose 2 cards, which I still think you can fuse once doing the journey and once doing the final enemy. Okay, perfect. That's what I thought. Meaning, when you say the journey, you mean the journey to the final. On the boss has 2 phases. You can fuse once in each phase. Okay, but in the meantime, I'm going to try to do this. Again, I hate diverting because if I divert and I have another journey, that is one of the more deflating things. So even though this hand's great for combat, I'm still going to try to just go ahead and use it like so. So we're going to have our 2. So we're going to have 5 plus 2 over here is going to be our boost number, which brings us to 7, which is more than half, which means we can now use our 5 to level things up, and I will level up this card because the one in my hand. So not the best, and I'm going to lose 2 time. That's the tricky part. Nope, if you just use the enhanced action on your spell card regarding getting an extra boost. Okay, I'm not sure I totally understand that, but we're going to cycle our 2 cards to the back over here, and then see if we have enough to have another full hand. 1, 2, 3. We still have another full hand. Great. Okay, so we are doing another journey, but this time we have what we need. We have 2 to 13. We have this over here. That's going to be an easy one. So we're going to have no abilities. We're enhancing this one. We already have 12, and then we can boost it with any of these. We'll boost it with that one just in case. And then we have 6 to spend on upgrades. We only need one of these upgraded, so we're going to upgrade this. Okay. All right, there we go. That's as far as that goes. All right, and then wait, that's our reserve card. And then we put these to the back. I don't think it matters, because I'm pretty sure the enemy is, there we go. There's Helsang. So we are now at the boss, okay? This is where we're going to go ahead and once again shuffle our deck. There is a mulligan rule, I believe, right, Joe? I think there's a mulligan rule, but I honestly don't really use it. More so because I can't be bothered to look up the exact details, and I just make do with what I have. Also because half the time if you're mulligan, I don't use the mulliganing. But you could use the mulliganing. So what you're going to do right now is you're going to have Helsang. Helsang is the Undying over here, and he has a whole bunch of stats. The main things you need to know is this is his early attack stat, this is his journey to get to him, and this is his final boss. We'll deal with these one at a time. So for our journey phase, we basically are trying to get to 19, 23, or 29 journey. And depending on which one we do, we're going to have to burn that many cards. So we want to burn as few cards as possible, because that'll give us the most cards for the final battle. Depending on how many cards you burnt, depending on how many cards you'll have for the final battle. So try to burn very few cards, is what I'm saying. We're going to draw 7 cards. Granted, if you get a really bad combo, you'll have to mulligan. That is what it is. But I'm going to go ahead and draw our 7 cards and build a 7-card hand. You're going to be building 2 hands. A hand of 3, a hand of 3, like we've been doing till now, and then a single reserve card that you can use for whatever degree of fusing, basically, or I think it's called fusing, to make cards whatever element you want. But to that end, we're going to go ahead and start. So 1, we're going to move Helsang to the top corner, so he's still in view. We're going to build our 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, great. So we do have some pretty high footprint values over here. We're going to possibly need to fuse this one. So this is where we're going to fuse things. So watch. You can take a regroup action, but discard 1 card from your hand to do so. Yeah, and I really don't like discarding cards, so I try to do my best I can to avoid it. And I think I can, because we're trying to get to 29, which should be very easy with the current hand I have. We're going to take this 11, and we're going to start by supporting this. We now already have 14. So we're already good on 14, and then we'll just take an arbitrary 3 and boost that. Okay, so we're already at 17 right now. Then I want this 12 over here, but this is where you get to see the fusing, because we haven't done it now. I can take these 2 cards that are both blue, and I can fuse them together and call them purple now. So now we are boosted by this purple, which brings us to 12, plus our 27, plus our 17 is already 29, plus we have an additional 2, we got to 31. Okay, that's our 31. Hopefully that all made sense, but that means we are only going to be discarding 1 card. So now we lose 1 card from the top of our deck over here, which we're going to take off, but the rest of these cards are now gone. We don't need them anymore. They are done. All right, but now we get to the fight part, okay? We need to beat 12 initiative if we want to avoid the 6 damage. He is going to defend once against purple damage and once against blue damage. Now the way that works is even if both my hands are blue, he'll only apply that blue 1 time to one of my hands. Won't apply twice, which is at least nice. So you have that control. But ideally we're going for red and yellow damage to avoid that entirely, or just red, red, yellow, yellow. And then we're trying to do this much damage. The more you do, the less he does back to you, and you have to be able to absorb whatever he does back to you. So that's the thing. So while you could do less damage, you want to make sure that you have more health to support that. But we're going to have 1, 2, 3. We're going to put him back in the corner. We're again trying to get to 30 over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, there's our 7-card hand. So we do have the leeway for 1 regroup action in theory without having that extra card. And we don't have as high values as I would like. We have a 14 and a 9. Both can be supported, but that's not going to be great, which means we can hope for high boost values. We do have this 5 over here. So let's do the best we can do. So we can support this into our first hand. Okay, so our 14 is great. I do wish I had a little bit higher attack, but we are making do with what we can. Then we're going to keep this 5 because this is the highest boost we have. The next highest boost we have is a 4, so we want those boosts in play. But the problem with that is we don't want that 4 because that 4 needs to be actually our main value. So we're going to do a 9 over here for our second hand. So we're constructing this one. So we have 14 plus 9 so far. We're going to boost this for 5. Oh, we have to keep in mind, oh, okay, fine. And Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, I do the combined initiative, right? So right now I have 4 plus 8 is 12. I have to double check the rules on that, but I think that's how it works, but you can tell me. So I think I do the combined initiative. 4 plus 8 is 12, which means I don't get hit with his initiative damage, but I do have to deal with 14 plus 9 is 23. No, sorry, 14 plus 9 is 23, plus 5 is 28, plus 3 is 31. Oh, good. We did it. We did it. We did it. We can burn this card. Well, we actually keep this card right now because we're going to need this. So we did it. We got to 31. 14 plus 9. Both of these are supported by the right colors. And then we have 3 and 8, which brings us to 31. Great. And we did the initiative, so we avoid that. Oh, wait, no. I was so close. Because I did purple damage. So the red damage we're fine on. The purple damage is reduced, so my 31 drops by 4. Is there a way to avoid that? I don't think there's a way that makes sense to avoid that. Let me just do some quick math over here. 7 over here. 3 over here. Yeah, there's no... Because this 4 versus 9 could make a minor difference. I think we can min-max this to drop higher technically, but no, it would be blue anyway. Yeah, so right now, purple shield. Yeah, Harmonies, I got it. Thank you. But thank you. I hate saying, like, I got it like that. Thank you, I appreciate it. 31 over here, minus 4 is 27, so we're going to have to take 20 damage. Okay, that's not as good. So now we have to do, now that we have to take 20 damage, we now have to assign that 20 damage to my cards. And to that end, and this is another thing, Joe, does he have a specific color as far as these go? I believe you used the rest of the hand from the last fight. I believe you used the rest of... Sorry, what do you say? 1 second. The rest of the cards for the last fight. You use all 8? I thought you only have 7, but I'd have to double check. I thought you draw another hand of 7, not that you use this last card. I could be wrong, though. And Joe is in chat. Joe's the designer, in case you missed it. So, anyways, right now, though, I have to take up that 20 damage over here. So I think I should be able to absorb it. Possibly, maybe. 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 5. That's 10, 12. 12 plus 7 is 19, plus 4 is 23. I didn't take the initiative damage. Oh yeah, you drew all of it. Okay, cool. So I apparently had more flexibility, but I don't think it matters because I anyways take only 20 damage and I have 23 shield, so I am good. I managed to take down Hellsang, and that is a gameplay of Dragons of Etchinstone. That's basically it. That's the benefit of taking less penalty against the journey. Good to know. I thought... I'm trying to remember why. I don't know. I have to go look. But either way, that is it. That is basically it. So I managed to take down Hellsang down to the wire over there, but managed to configure a hand. Obviously, if you don't upgrade your cards enough as you go through it, you'll have worse numbers and have a lower chance of being able to take them out. Like even in this hand, like I'm dealing with a 1. And the good news is you can always afford a few 1s because those are often your elements. The bad news is they're also your initiative, which means that's why we have a 4 over here and an 8 over here, which is enough to need to take them down over there. That's basically it. That is Dragons of Etchinstone, which means we're going to go ahead and call this. We got into our usual regular hour over here. A little bit of back and forth, a little bit of conversation. This is on GameFound. I guess I might throw a link down below. I don't really put stuff in my live videos, but we'll see. But you can go ahead and check it out. It's probably somewhere on the main page, or just search Dragons and it'll show up. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, I will have review content for you at some point. I just need to play through the expansion stuff first, which I have not yet done so. We got this whole stack of cards, and I haven't touched any of those, so I will have that for you later. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. Thank you, everyone, for joining in, for watching. Thank you, Joe, for your help, as well as Harmorize for those 2 instances. And until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one. It's still going because that's the downside of being a live video. Do you still think it's probably a 3.5? It's hard to say. So I part of what I want to do, I specifically want to go through my original review and figure it out because I like the game. And again, expansion stuff might change things. I enjoy the puzzle. I have fun with it. It's either a 3.5 or a 4. Now, I will say I'm a sucker for premium components. The tricky part is, or premium artwork components, all that. And I do like the graphic design styles choices more in this one. Also, it would be even better if you had Chip Theory's final cards. It's right now, I'd say it's in that zone where I hesitate to decide whether it's a 3.5 or a 4. And this is those times that I kind of wish I had a more nuanced scale, but I very intentionally don't because part of my logic for not having too much of a nuanced scale is I like to be able to say offhand what a game was. Like if you ask me what the rating was, I want to be able to like instantly know. If I have to like look it up, then it's not a rating, it's a point in time. But it's easily a 3.5 for sure. Depending on, I'd say, either the final aspect or the expansions, it might bump up to a 4. I think it does have merit. I think the difference between now and last time, here is the difference between now and last time. This time around, I think I do want to keep it because it does make for a good travel experience. It does run a little long, granted in hours because I'm communicating in chat. You can play it in like 35 minutes generally. Like I think I played this last night. It was probably 30-ish minutes, maybe a little more. But it has a nice flavor going on. I am curious what the expansions add, because the one aspect, again, I have to watch my review from last time to figure out what I said in different ways. But overall, I think it does run the risk of being the same puzzle each time to a degree, meaning you're playing a number crunching game. What's the real difference? Like, sure, you have different dragons. Does that drastically change the experience? Not seriously so. So I'm curious what would make the game more variable. But I also think that's less of a problem because to me this is going to become one of my travel games where I have a full stack of travel games when I'm on a plane and I want to play something fun, and I do enjoy the number crunching, yeah. So as far as rating wise, yeah, currently I'd say it's easily a 3.5. Possibly the things that could push it to a 4 would be the level of final production quality that makes it even more premium and more enjoyable to pull out, because that does matter at the end of the day. And then also expansion content and what that adds. Okay. Have a good one. Thanks for the playthrough. How do you feel it compares to 20 Strong? Oh, I prefer 20 Strong. That's more my vibe. But a big part of that is both of them have you powering up in different ways. I think the powering up in 20 Strong gives you more room for interesting abilities. So there's lots of cards that come into play, and that's part of what goes to the variety of the playthrough experience. In this over here, as you flip a card, you get better stats, but you don't really get abilities that significantly shift up the experience game to game. Versus in 20 Strong, every combination of abilities you have, sure, there's also stat bumping, but you have lots of things that you're like, oh, I have this gear and this item, so I think overall that puzzle I enjoy a bit more. This one has more of a portable aspect, but I enjoy the puzzle of 20 Strong a bit more. Anyways, I'm going to go and call it. I'm going to go stand up over there and turn that camera off, and then later tonight I'll probably learn the expansion rules and dive into it there. In any case, until next time, I said this already, so I'll see you later.